See,
We are wrestling with Saturday night's main event. Um, it took place last Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia, at the State Farm Arena. Attendance was 13,010. Um,
yeah, shouty.
Tagline: No one spared, everyone speared. Um, pretty, pretty run of the mill for for these Saturday night main event cards. Four matches. Um, roughly 10-minute matches each. Um, not, I mean, these matches aren't necessarily going to set the world on fire.
Yeah,
Um,
it's meant to get exposure to because it was on NBC, and plus in Atlanta, and this is why I keep my ears to the ground back home. Atlanta was kind of popping the whole weekend because you had this stuff wrestling. Beyonce was doing 5 shows in Atlanta. In the middle of doing 5 shows in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome, at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, sorry, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then you had Major League Baseball All-Star Weekend. It was literally like a conclave of a bunch of shit to do.
gotcha.
So it was a fucking attention-seeking fest like nobody's business. So I could see why they were just kind of like, all right, let's just coast it. And mainly Goldberg being the big guy. That's what other reason I said the Great American Bash kind of like was because Goldberg being, and this is how I know, he's a former Georgia Bulldog, played for the University of Georgia, and he played for the Atlanta Falcons. He's about as Georgia as you could get when it comes to sports.
Right.
And then plus the WCW angle only makes it a little bit more endearing for him. So there you go.
That brings us to the first match. I can't believe these words are actually coming out of my mouth right now. Randy Orton, accompanied by Jelly Roll, defeated Drew McIntyre, being accompanied by Logan Paul in 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Um, Decent match, but I think we both know why this happened. It was to set up the tag team match at SummerSlam. I mean, uh, um, it did what it had to do. I appreciate that Jelly Roll got physical in the match as well. Obviously he wants to, actively wrestle. Well, I mean, it's a one-off, but you know what I mean. So yeah, um, it's just like really weird. and and you told me, I don't even want to say earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, if you ever told me in my life that Randy Orton would be teaming with Jelly Roll, I would definitely tell you, what kind of crack are you smoking? But what say you, Kaliko?
Honestly, I think it's just a lat move for Orton and Logan to keep themselves busy from the upper tier. And it's a crossover thing because I personally think they kind of are getting cutting the axe on the Travis Scott experiment. And this is, I think, is a TKO thing where they're like trying to get, more celebrity crossover. And Jelly Roll at this point has already been involved in the WWE in the last year at SummerSlam he chokeslammed in this. So it's not
Right.
like, he's not oblivious to it. Um I plus I received word that this guy has been actually legit training at the PC, lost 200 pounds, so you can cut the Ozempic rumor. He's actually been putting the work in the mat. Um, I don't expect him to be Bad Bunny because Bad Bunny is the bar. That he's the bar. I mean, actually, he's number one. And if you could beat that, it's number one.
I mean,
I don't expect him to do that, but I expect him to be better than Snoop.
how dare you? disparage the name of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Well, in that frame, like where it's not breathtaking, but I mean it's breathtaking for him, but it's not like he's out there hitting Canadian destroyers and shit.
I mean, that was one of the prettiest people's elbow I ever seen in my life.
Oh
And
God,
I've seen The
no.
Rock live do the people's elbow. So, yeah.
Snoop is like 100 years old out here trying to do the goddamn people's elbow. You telling me that half his age Jelly Roll can't be better than Snoop?
No, I'm not saying that, but how dare you disparage the good name of the Snoop Doggy Dogg?
Okay, never mind. Snoop 53. I'm sorry, I done aged this motherfucker out. Jelly Roll's 40. I expect him to do a little bit better.
You know what? You know what I find interesting is that um uh what is his name? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, smaller guy. Even Logan Paul. I mean, he's on the bigger side, but smaller guy. Jelly Roll is a bigger guy. So if he wrestles like a big guy, he hit that chokeslam pretty nicely on the Miz. Um, with no training, I think, and he, like I said, walks like a big guy. I don't see where there's gonna be a problem. I mean, this isn't. We're far, we're way far removed from the Lawrence Taylors and Snookies of the world in pro
Right.
wrestling. So, and keep in mind, Jelly Roll, genuinely wants to be there. And as long as the celebrity that genuinely wants to be there, you know, puts their all in it, it comes off genuine to the fans. And once you get
True.
the fans, approval, you're WWE for life.
That is true. And then, but I also heard don't expect big as in, because I asked, I was like, okay, is it big like Kevin Nash? She was like, no, think Mabel. And I'm thinking,
That's not big.
Mabel 90. He said Mabel. I was like Mabel 95 or Mabel when he first got in. Like that, those are two different. Like we need to encapsulate this Mabel timeline, sir. Like,
Yeah.
because there was a time he was decent, so decent Mabel or worst case scenario Mabel.
I think
But we'll see when that happens.
I mean, the most decent Maple was when he was Viscera.
Which viscera, like German emo house viscera, or
Well, I mean, he was. Uh, well, I mean, there was the '98 run. That was okay. I don't remember him hurting anybody. Then there was the world's largest love machine Viscera, and that was interesting. And then there was Big Daddy V, and we just don't talk about Big Daddy V.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. We will see.
How
I
many
will.
how many stars do you give the match?
I mean, wait, there was a match. Oh no, because it just felt like it was just an excuse to get that set up. So, but 2.5 because it just was there. The whole reason for the match was to set up that.
Right.
Now, in its entirety, I would say 3 because Jelly Roll did take a mean ass Claymore. I did. He took a shot, so I'll give that.
Yeah. No, I agree with it. 2.5.
I will give him props for that. He took one.
All right.
He
Uncle
took it.
Dave. 1.5.
1.5. Higher. Come on, man. Higher. Come on.
2.25.
Higher.
2.5. 2 7/5.
275. Told you on that kick, boy.
Yeah, I see how this. I see how this night is going. Right. WWE United States Championship match solo Coca-Cola with Jeff Cobb Mateo, Tala Tonga Loa defeated Big Jim in 10 minutes and 49 seconds. I feel bad for Jim. Just being cannon fodder at this point. But
I mean, like cannon fodder is to give your boy Mr. Fatu, Mr. Yada. I mean,
right,
give him a reason to go over there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but considering where Jimmy is and where Naomi is, yeah, he's still the side character, just for another family member, and against his own little brother as well. So I don't want to say he deserves better, but he. It's just kind of it's kind of sad that, that Jimmy is technically the Genetti of the family.
What? How dare you?
I mean, am I telling lies here?
It's too. I don't think it's too early to put him as Janetti. Reason being is because one, the whole reason Jay even got main event Jay is because Jimmy was out with the ACL. You know what I'm saying? So
And an
no
DUI
AC.
as well.
You say what?
And a DUI as well.
That too. So I'm just saying, none of that happens. No main event Jay.
Yeah, so we should.
Solo's trajectory is still there. It's just Jay's would not have been if it wasn't for
I mean, even okay, you could make the argument that main event Jay Uso wouldn't have been if Jimmy wasn't there, but also if Roman didn't need to get over the tribal chief gimmick, that too, because before Roman was popping off, what was Jimmy doing before that? He was basically just waiting for Jim. What Jay was waiting for Jim to come back. They wasn't actively using him. It was
in essence, you're right.
yeah. Is was there? I mean, technically there was a match, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it was the most memorable thing in the world. It got what it needed to come across. Jacob came in, made the save, looking like the big crazy motherfucker that he is. Setting up their SummerSlam match, and I believe it's going to be in a solid steel cage as well. Announced on SmackDown yesterday, so good on them. What say you, Kaliko?
I mean, it's just meant to make the new bloodline look stronger. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. This is what it's supposed to do. Jim just happened to be the guy to take it, and now it's going to set up for Solo. I mean, Solo and Jacob at SummerSlam. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes in the next couple weeks, to see how they pick up the story of whether, I mean, Jimmy seems like he's about to go on Fatu's side. So we just got like a brother versus brother rivalry. Brother jumping in some family stuff that ain't really got nothing to do with family, and it's just like, well, the Tongas ain't got nothing to do with this shit. And then
Not really.
it's not at all. I
Well,
mean, you
technically
might
they're
as well.
related to each other, but not to
I'm
the
just what
NOI
they might
family.
as well bring. They might as well bring back some Mojo on the other side, just making a whole. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and make it a whole thing. But
I mean,
yeah,
Jeff Cobb
it's
isn't even Samoan. He's fucking Filipino. So I digress.
hey, Yokozuna wasn't Japanese, so that why we gotta play semantics, sir? Oh, we play semantics. But but back to what I was saying. Yeah, no, it's gonna set it up. Overall, this match it did what it needed to do. Fatu came out, so overall 3. I give it a 3. But Solo's funny though. I love Solo. Solo that grew on me now.
We all
He's
love
got the
Solo.
better personality. He's got the best personality out of all of his brothers.
Um, I give it 2.5. It wasn't the most memorable thing, but it did what it needed to do. So there's that. 2.5. All right. That brings us to um, La, La Knight defeating Seth freaking Rollins in 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Um, Really interesting because the match definitely didn't end the way that it was supposed to. Seth
Right.
did um the moonsault. I think he was going for a lion salt. I can't remember, but he was in the position of like a lion salt. He landed on his feet, landed weirdly. Um, it just kind of ended after that. Good on set for just letting them finishing the match, um, but we knew that there's something up. Now depending on who you ask, it was all a work, and um, he's going to come back at SummerSlam and cost CM Punk the title match. For anybody that doesn't know, Punk is wrestling Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Um, I don't, I don't know how. I feel like they're covering it up, or it's either not as bad as they thought it was, or they're covering it up. Obviously Seth Rollins is who they're going with right now. He's one of the bigger factions in WWE right now. Money in the Bank holder as well. Um, so what say you, Kaliko?
All right. Now this has had me in a pickle because I'm looking at everything, and it kind of fits in line with Seth cashing in at SummerSlam. It kind of does. However, sources tell me that they're taking it precautiously and it's going to be some months. Could be as long as WrestleMania, which is why it makes sense why Heyman brought up he's got till blah 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 2026 to cash in.
June of next year.
Yep. So it makes sense in that regard.
True.
Um, I I tend to err on that side. I think it was legit because I mean, and the only reason I say it's legit because we've seen Seth wrestle with a torn meniscus.
True.
So you know what I mean. It seems like it takes a lot for him to kind of be like, fuck it, stop this match. You know what I mean?
True.
So that's the other reason I think people need to like think of the other side, because we've seen him wrestle injured, and we know when he's like legit, like, okay, this something's up. His history.
You know, I think that he is legitimately injured as well. I don't necessarily know if what the extent of. It could have been just, something pop, something weird. It could not be as bad as it, necessarily could be. But just the fact that WWE is keeping it, so close to the vest makes me feel like it's worse than it actually is. And they're trying to figure out what they want to do with everything because obviously, like I said, Seth is, a major part of WWE programming every week. His little faction with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they're a main staple of Raw right now. So, and like again, Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He's going to be champion at some point again. Um, I don't know. I I don't think that he's gonna show up at SummerSlam. If we see him before SummerSlam in any capacity, then it was either not as bad as they said it was or work, and it's and he's going to cash in or do something. But if we don't see him at SummerSlam, then it's game over for him. We're not seeing him until he comes back, whether that's 6, 9, or a year, 6 months, 9 months, or a year down the line. But I do think that it is maybe a fun little, I want to say Easter egg, but just to have that unpredictability, because whenever he does happen to come back, his first night he's going to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase, and then you have, a cash in out of nowhere, which kind of breathes life back into the Money in the Bank briefcase that we haven't had for quite some time. No.
I mean, that could happen. My thought process too, man, I was talking about this earlier. I was like, man, what if, and this was the biggest what if it was cashed in on Braun Breaker?
Mm.
Because now that possibility can happen.
I think it all depends on where they're at, and where.
Well, it depends on how the faction deals and gels without him. I think, me personally, I think depending on the need, I think he could still be in the storyline without having to be touched. Uh, um, depending, because especially now, because it's not like they're running house shows,
I think that's true.
so it allows them to kind of because they were kind of hinting at that with Bronson getting the hug and him going through through Braun. So I mean, the seed is there. I'm just saying there's a lot of possibilities where it could happen. He could cash in on Punk to keep up to keep the promise to Punk not winning the title. He could cash in on Gunther because of the simple fact that they just don't even have a mutual respect for each other. He could cash in. Evidently, let's say if Roman ends up getting that belt, he could cash in on Breaker if he happens. There's a multitude of those four, and I think those are probably I mean, he could cash in on Jay. I mean, those are like the five cats that you see like are gonna be in that main event scene, if that
Right.
makes sense.
No, you're absolutely right. It's just a matter of seeing where things lead at this point. Because it
Yeah,
is.
it's just a matter of letting the leaves fall and just seeing how it's gonna go. Because right now Roman just popped back up, so now he ain't going. He's been out the title scene for what, a good year.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's going to go after Gunter. He wants what Cena has. The only reason he's fucking with Breaker and Reed is because of Paul Heyman. Because he wants his
That
title.
that and his cousin or that and his
His cousin.
cousin. Who's
Oh, okay.
yeah, his cousin.
Hmm. But I mean, of
Cause
course,
he picked up his cousin. Oh, did pick up Punk.
that's right. I mean, we'll,
Just saying.
we'll see what happens there, too. But I don't know how they could extend this with Roman coming back and Seth not being a part of it at all. But like I said, we'll see. There's a there's a lot of variables at this point.
There's more variables in this than an algebra problem, but
Right, true. Right. Should we should we really rate this match considering how it ended?
your boy, we don't have to rate it because to me it ended it. But your boy rated it.
Well, I mean, if you want to rate it, I have no problem with it. I'll rate
I
it.
can't rate that match because it wasn't the full intention of the match. To me, it's an incomplete because that was not the
Well,
direction of the match.
and I mean, I agree with that. Um,
But he did.
gonna say that he gave it a 1 7/5,
Mm-mm.
2 7/5,
Mm-mm.
2,
3.5.
3.5 for an
Three
incomplete
and a
match.
half. Bro, he must have been smoking good. Um,
he had
he
that.
must have been bumping on the yacht with Coney.
He had that good AEW high.
I mean, granted, this started when AEW ended. literally, post conference and all. The post conference was still going on while this shit was popping off. So hey,
All right.
the scrum.
And that brings us to the main event, the last match. Why everybody was there, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunter defeated Goldberg in 15 minutes and 20 seconds by technical submission. All things considering who was in the match, Goldberg, and everything that happened during the match, this could have been
And everything that happened before the match.
a lot worse. I think that it was a good match for what Goldberg could do. And, God bless Gunter for being able to carry him and, being able to have a semi decent match. And, you could see, like, at the very, like, tail end of the match, Goldberg was starting to get winded. He's not necessarily known for having, 90-minute Tokyo Dome matches. So, time they picked the right time to go home and finish things up, and it made Goldberg look like Goldberg. It also made Goldberg Gunter gets a win on Goldberg, so does that as well. So I think everybody kind of benefited from this, except for Charles Robinson, who got a couple of cracked ribs from that spear. I mean, they were not kind to Charles Robinson in the last month or so.
That is true. My man's getting tossed like a soap in jail. Anyways, but I mean, if you had told me not Johnson, but Goldberg would have a 15-minute match, I would have said you spoken crack. As a matter of fact, the people I was watching it with, we had the over/under at 7.5. He doubled it, so I was like, all right. Gotta give him props there. But
Yeah.
with that being said, uh, I, that being said, it felt a little rushed in a sense because you knew they were up against time because it's not just on Peacock, it's on national TV
Right.
as well. So it's that hard out. And then you get the whole him trying to give the speech and only 30 seconds pop off because of the hard out. And text group, I was like, bro, I understand that it's a hard out, but optically that looks fucked up. But WWE made it right and posted the whole speech there. So kudos to them on that part. The match itself, you could tell Goldberg was just, I mean, that knee was shot, mad shot. At least they put it into the storyline, and that's a good thing.
Right.
Gunther out here making people look strong. He made McAfee look good. He made Goldberg look good. I'm like, well, hot damn.
Gunther's running on all cylinders right now.
Gunther's like, bitch, you put me on all these matches. I better get the title back.
Right.
Just saying.
After the obviously this after the match. Goldberg went on Ariel Helwani's podcast and spoke about how he was actually disappointed in his last match, or at least how it was handled. Didn't necessarily feel like it was the best way to, dip out and have your last match. I mean, the match itself was fine, and he should be proud of that. But I do agree with him to some degree.
What?
How things was handled. WWE is in a really bad place with storytelling right now. And what I mean by that is we're getting a PLE every 2 weeks, and it just doesn't. It makes big events feel a little bit smaller, and you only have enough time to tell, you know, a solid and good story when you only have 2 weeks to tell it. Like, I mean, they dipped Goldberg in, and they dipped him into the storyline, and then they dipped him right out at the Saturday night's main event. Like, it was gone in 60 seconds, so to speak. Uh, and I do agree. Like, that's not necessarily fair to Goldberg. You want to have a proper build up to your very last match, and it just wasn't there. What say you, Kaliko?
What? What? Okay. Okay. I'm going to preface this with the simple fact that this match did not have to happen because this promise was made by somebody who is no longer there.
You're talking about Vince?
Yes.
I mean, I feel. Didn't they say that his last match was supposed? They announced his last match in April. So right after, well, during WrestleMania.
But my point is that one, they didn't have to give it to him unless it was like super contractually. And you mean to tell me this mofo gets his final match? Now I want you to put your fingers up when I say this. His final match, right?
Yeah.
One finger for the title.
Okay.
In Atlanta, your hometown,
Okay.
in the main event, on nationally syndicated television, prime time.
Would you
Count on one thing. Count on one finger. How many wrestlers got that as their final match? Because what pissed me off, and what got me was when he said, and I quote, "This wouldn't happen to Taker or Cena." I'll give him Cena, but he's not Cena. He wasn't there 20 years.
And he wasn't
Cena
a
is the
WWE guy either.
Right. So Cena's the ultimate WWE guy through and through. As a matter of fact, he's the only person that's been with the WWE, that stayed with the WWE and didn't. There's two people who are WWE guys through and through. Randy Orton, John Cena. That's it. That has never left the company. Whether it be contractual hiatus or in going flirting with other companies or whatever the case may be. Those are the only two people that are like uberly WWE.
Sure.
Right? That would get that treatment. So that he's not even in that stratosphere. So let's just put that to the side. I mean, that are currently right now. So I'm just saying that. The other person he put up was The Undertaker. Undertaker's final match was in the goddamn pandemic on a theater match at a WrestleMania in the pandemic era.
True. In front of nobody.
So the fact that you said that it didn't happen to Taker when Taker's finals match was during the pandemic is freaking ludicrous.
No, I mean, yeah. I didn't actually hear that he said that this wouldn't have happened to John Cena or.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He come on, bro. I mean, he was like, and that's what threw me off. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he definitely got a better shine than Undertaker did, at least. At least Undertaker.
He said he felt it was treated as another angle and not given the same level of attention or respect that Cena or Taker got. And I'm looking at him like, Taker's final match was when the world shut down. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. But I mean, I do agree with that it was treated as just another angle. Because it was treated as just another angle, and not as when somebody retires, it should kind of be treated as a celebration rather than an angle, in my opinion. I mean, the last person that
who you act like the motherfucker couldn't come. That angle could have been set up when Pat McAfee. He could have came in on Pat McAfee's behalf and that would have built it up, and then he won the title, and then it. So to me, me personally, the fact that a WCW guy got that kind of rollout, like I said, main event, primetime television for a world championship in your hometown. Shawn Michaels didn't even get that.
Yeah, retired in technically retired in Arizona.
Triple H didn't get that.
But I mean, you could put an asterisk on Triple H because it was
But
technically not,
but that's but that, we could put an asterisk. My point is that you can make the argument they bent over backwards to give him this. And considering that I just saw some footage, bro was not talking about, he was not, if you saw what I saw, he didn't seem disappointed. Not at all. As a matter of fact, WWE was basically, oh, go over his final match. There's certain people, go over his final match. Can't wait.
Could we? Could he at least be upset that his speech got cut before it came um, before the broadcast ended? I mean, technically they were
Well,
on. I mean, yeah, the TV broadcast, hard out,
hard
but
out. Yeah, that's it. And then you got to put in the fact that they gave him a 15-minute match. The here's the thing, because the commercials were awkward as well because of Seth's injury. Seth's injury kind of had Seth's injury happen as the opener versus right before the match, I could see, you know what I'm saying? I could see him being pissed because they had all this time to adjust. They literally were on the fly with it.
right,
Because the Seth injury happened, it cuts that match short, so they gotta fill that time just to get him out the ring and make sure he's okay, and then they set up the match, and then that match happens, and they have all these commercials, and I'm like, and people are probably thinking like, why are these commercials up? Because those commercials would have happened during the Seth match versus this match,
right.
which kind of fucks up the way his speech happens and all that. All that happens. All of that is what kind of fucks it up, right? So hard out. I could if he get. I even said when it happened, it looks bad because it's the perception. I even said that. I was like, the perception looks like they just didn't give a shit. And when they posted the speech back when they posted his speech back on Facebook, the whole thing, or on YouTube, the whole thing, okay, they did. Okay, they see that it was kind of a fucked up situation, or not even fucked up a situation. They had to try to make the best out of something, and they were like, okay, we're gonna release the whole speech and go on, go.
I got
But 3 days later to complain like that, bro, like.
Do you think that because, like you said, inside sources,
Oh, I
video.
saw the footage. Bro. I saw it. You couldn't tell he was pissed walking behind the curtain. And if he was pissed, he would have said it to Triple H. And he didn't say shit to Triple H. Show me with Triple H, rather. And this is me. I mean, but.
Do you think that this might be a work?
Mm-mm. Nope. Think he's just full of shit.
Okay.
Now, this made me realize Brett was right all 20 years. All the time, everybody yelling, Brett, let it go. Meanwhile, Hotel Brett was the only one. Somewhere, Brett is in Canada like, I fucking told y'all.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Bret Hart's the new Orange Sheik. Um, Orange Sheik is, fuck the Hulk Hogan. Bret Hart be fuck the Goldberg.
I mean, yeah, but hey, he right. He right. Based on everything I've been looking, he's right.
Well, I mean, either way, maybe Goldberg had some, regrets or, you know, didn't deal with his last match as well as maybe he thought he was going to. Maybe that was why, he said the things he said. I hope that he maybe looks at it at hindsight and says, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or you know, maybe I was overreacting. I hope he does because, like I said, it was for the matches that he's had since he's came back in like what 2017. This was one of the better matches that he had. So
That's probably the best man. And then you also factor in think how he was booked in the because this is the other thing too. Well, he wasn't celebrated, bro. Did you see how you were booked since 2016? Since you came back,
true. And in all
bro.
honesty,
You're a two-time WWE Universal Champion, beating the likes of the Fiend and Brock Lesnar.
I mean, in all honesty,
WrestleMania matches.
in all honesty, he when he had that little proper rivalry with Brock Lesnar, he should have the Mania match. I think it was 33, WrestleMania 33. That should have been his retirement match. Put over Lesnar.
Well, that should have been it. But the problem is that he came back right after that and fought who? Taker. That match was a dud. Then he came back and fought who at SummerSlam? Ziggler, which he kind of squashed. Then he fought who? The Fiend. Beat the Fiend. Then he lost to Braun Strowman. Strowman should have been it. But nope. He came back. Guess what he did? Had another title match against who?
Was it Roman?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Drew McIntyre. Yeah.
Drew McIntyre. Then he comes back and has another title match against who? Bobby Lashley.
And then he has another match with Bobby.
Then he has another match with Bobby Lashley. Then he fights Roman, which is what everybody was going for. So, my guy, you've been in the upper echelon this entire time.
Yeah.
So what treatment are you complaining about?
No, yeah.
13 matches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them were for type, including this one. So 8 title matches. And you mean to tell me you get treated like what? Meanwhile, we're screaming Kevin Owens get a title shot, and this motherfucker ain't been right since Goldberg. Just saying.
Yeah.
Come on, my boy. Like that. That's what gets me jaded because I'm looking like, come on, my boy. Come on, my boy. Come on. Cena didn't even get 8 title shots in 2016.
Yeah. No. No, you're right. Well, at least, like I said, it was a good match to go out on. Well, hopefully he'll see that, down the line.
Whatever. You still got people yelling he shouldn't have beat the Fiend, and you over here talking about treatment. Boy, if you'll get the fuck out of my face.
What I'm saying is, treatment-wise, is that it was literally he came in, he asked for the match against Gunter, he got the match, and that was literally the extent of his storyline with Gunter. So I mean, just from a crowd perspective, you want to be a little bit more invested in the match rather than just, okay, it's his last match. You know what I mean? Like,
While
make
I
it a
get
little
that,
bit
here's my
more
problem.
personal.
Here's his problem with that. Who's the bigger wrestler? Who's the bigger star, Goldberg or Sting?
Personally, I'd say Sting.
So did Sting get that treatment Goldberg got
I would say
from WWE?
Oh, um, what kind of treatment do you mean?
Sting's final match
Well, his
in
final
WWE.
match was against Seth Rollins, and it was maybe a month built to from because it started the night before, the night after SummerSlam. It went to Night of Champions, and Sting had a tag team match against Seth Rollins with John Cena. So I mean, he did have there was some storytelling.
What story are you gonna tell that is that is a final run? Because Goldberg is not gonna eclipse Cena's final year if that's what he was expecting.
No, and it's definitely not. If that's what he thought, then he's definitely delusional. Cause,
Well, clearly that's what he was thinking because that's what he compared it to.
and we saw
That
Cena.
and that is where the problem lies, sir.
And I get what you mean by that. And if that's where the bar is, then yeah, he's going to be
If he's
disappointed.
saying as a WCW and maybe what? He spent more time in this run of the WWE than his first run at the WWE? So you're telling me that they should treat that guy who's had what? 2016? That's about what? 14, 15 matches? You think that they should treat that guy on the same level as John Cena? You smoking crack.
Yeah, no.
You smoking crack. And he had his Hall of Fame, so it ain't like they didn't give him shit.
Very true.
He was the headliner in 2018. How would I know? I was there meeting him.
Well, let's get
Motherfucker, you tripping.
well, let's get
You're
back.
tripping.
Well, let's get back to the match. How many stars do you give it?
Considering it was Goldberg's last match, and considering that Gunther just make everybody look good. Goldberg's last match. A solid 3.5. I'll give him the 3.5.
I'm gonna say that the match was a 3.5, but Gunther's performance and all of the work that he put into the match, I give it, a, I give that a 5, because he definitely put in the work. Right. So as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Well, you forgot to guess
Oh yes.
Meltzer's rating.
Um, 2 7/5,
Higher.
3.5.
3.5. Man, you look at you. Look at you. See, we were all on one. No, actually, yeah, 3.5. See, we were all on one accord.
All right, there we go. Vibing with Uncle Dave. Alright, so as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
Show as a whole, middle. because it had his highlights, of course, Goldberg's last match, Jelly Roll taking a Claymore, Naomi and Jade taking it to the streets, literally, damn near, almost. Yeah. And then it had his low lights because of the injury that threw everything off. So, yeah, it was kind of in the middle.
Alright. I agree. I say dumps in the middle. Like I said, it's not gonna. It didn't set the world on fire, but it's memorable for the fact that it was Goldberg's last match.
Right.
Right. I believe that will conclude our coverage of WWE Saturday night's main event.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.